Hello, welcome to Tutors of Life podcast, where we research life so you don't have to. Did I have the right episode last time?
Yes.
Episode 463. This is your host, Shaun Tutor.
And this is Sam. And this is a Tutor episode where we try to teach you something new.
How are we doing?
It's a beautiful snowy day.
Beautiful snowy day. Real heavy snow. I foresee some leaves on some branches on some trees breaking and falling.
I think there's going to be a lot of branches.
So hopefully they don't hit our house or garage or truck. That's what I'm really hoping for today. Yeah.
Should we just get after it? You got stuff to go do.
I got stuff to go do. Yes, let's do it. Go ahead.
You can also start.
What was that? What was this like? What was that?
I don't know. You always make me come up with podcast topics, and then you always like. So I give you an idea, and then you're like, "Yeah, that sounds good." And then you're like, "So what are we?"
Yeah, is your topic.
Yeah, but usually you are the one that just goes wild off of it.
I can't win.
Not really.
Okay. Proceed.
I don't know. I just figured we'd talk about like not fitting into the norms of society.
Perfect.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, me.
Yes, dude. You're the one that goes on these rants.
All right. There's this saying. It's a crunchy mom. Give me my phone, please.
Yeah.
It's a crunchy mom. Do you know what that is?
A crunchy mom?
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone knows what a crunchy mom is.
Everyone knows. Okay. What's a crunchy mom to you?
A crunchy mom is like someone who's into all like holistic homesteading, against big government kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And what's the opposite of that?
I don't know. Liberal?
A silky mom.
Oh, is that what they're called?
They're called silky moms.
I never knew that, actually.
Yeah. I mean, they're about like convenience, modern solution, things like that. Processed foods, disposable diapers, all that, relying on pediatricians, using screen time.
Are we called crunchy moms because it takes more work to chew, or why crunchy?
Interesting.
Right? Like, why crunchy?
Let me ask. Why is it called crunchy mom?
Who started that?
It's called a crunchy mom because the term comes from crunchy granola, referencing the natural whole foods like granola and holistic. Often hippie-inspired lifestyle choices associated with these mothers, emphasizing organic products, eco-consciousness, and natural parenting methods like extended breastfeeding, baby wearing, and avoiding processed items.
Interesting. Cool.
So anyways, Sam and I are pretty crunchy.
Yeah, we're very crunchy.
We're pretty crunchy. So anyhow, that is kind of what the topic's on today.
Yeah, just kind of like we get a lot of heat, a lot of suggestions, a lot of criticism.
It's probably a good word for it.
Yeah, for how we do things. And honestly, we don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
We want to do things how we want to do things. And if you're a silky mom and you want to do things your way, go for it. I don't care. Does not affect me. So I don't know. We'll see where this episode takes us. We'll either talk about some of the things that we do that obviously aren't normal in society, or we'll just talk about how we kind of handle it and continue on. I don't know. We'll see where this episode goes.
Okay. Cool.
Did you hear what I just said?
Kind of. You're going to see where this episode goes, and that'll depend if we talk about like how we handle situations and what we do or not.
Mm-hmm. Or like what we do that isn't normal.
Oh, sure. Mm-hmm. So this is what I'll say. This by no means was a fast transition.
No.
I didn't know, like, follow me on my journey. 8 years ago, we met 9 years ago.
Something like that, yeah.
9 years ago, when we met, Sam and I were both pro-vaccine. Mm-hmm. We thought, like, if you didn't get vaccines, you're actually retarded.
Yep.
I
actually think there's probably an episode where I was talking about it too.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like one of the very early ones.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like, pro-vaccine. Mm-hmm. Fucking, I didn't know food was bad.
Yeah.
I didn't know shit in food was bad. Mm-hmm. I ate horrendously. Mm-hmm. And I had no idea there was a problem with it.
I had no idea what... Like, I was like a salad is healthy type of person.
100%. Mm-hmm. I thought that, like, I didn't know certain foods could make you feel good or bad.
Yeah.
I thought it was normal after a meal to be cloudy and foggy and, like, lethargic. Mm-hmm. I had no idea you could feel good after a meal. So, like, that's that. We thought, I always thought, like, my kids will go to daycare. There should be 2 income earners in the family. Mm-hmm. Stay-at-home mom is kind of crazy, but whatever. I mean, if you want to... I used to think, like, a stay-at-home mom was, like, lazy.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, someone's a stay-at-home mom, that's fucking lazy. Mm-hmm. I used to think the only way for a kid to get an education is public school.
100%.
If a kid's not in public school, they're going to be fucking weird and homeschooled.
I did always think private school was a good option, just because I had a friend who went to Regis, and she was like two or three math levels ahead of me.
I didn't have experience with that.
So that was like one thing where I was just like, wow, like if she's in private school and she's that far ahead, I was like, there's got to be something to this. And I also had some friends that were homeschooled, and they graduated when they were 16.
I didn't have experience with any of that.
So I wasn't like super like homeschool and private school, but I was just like, if I can, like, I should consider that.
Sure. Yeah, so I didn't think... I was always on the train of, like, you know, public school for me was good, and I think you should be in public school so that you're around people like you and you, like, socialize and all this stuff.
Yeah.
That was 9 years ago.
Right.
But over the time... I should say I really felt that way when I got out of high school. By the time I'd met Sam, I'd actually made a couple friends. So this would be like 2014, 15, 16. I'd made some friends who were homeschooled. Mm-hmm. And I was like...
You're not weird.
They were smart. They weren't weird. They were cool to hang out with. And I was like, wait a second. I thought you had to be weird. Mm-hmm. And a couple of them were like smart. And I'm like, and they weren't weird. And I was like, fuck. Okay, well, that's neat. I wonder how that worked out or whatever. But so, like, that, I started questioning things in, like, 2015. I was like, oh, fuck, dude. These guys are actually kind of... So, anyways, I shouldn't say by 9 years ago when we met in 2017. Is that right? Yeah.
2016?
When we met in 2016, I wasn't, like... no dice to the homeschool thing. I was starting to be like, oh, that's
interesting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So anyways, and I always thought, like, I thought modern medicine was like the, you know, probably the best thing in the world. Like, was modern medicine because it could, like, really fix you. Mm-hmm. That all started falling apart in 2017 when I went to the hospital.
Yeah. I believed in modern medicine. I did not believe in doctors.
Oh, you know what? I could give you that. Mm-hmm. I could give you that for sure. Mm-hmm. I still believe in modern medicine.
Yeah, 100%.
Dude, if you can fucking take a tumor out of someone, if you can fix
have to do
broken bones.
Right. You have to have both. You have to have modern medicine and you have to have holistic.
You don't have to, but you're just going to have a lot of people dying from, like, shit that they shouldn't die from.
Well,
like,
that's
people
why you should
dying
have
from
it.
a fucking broken arm.
That's why you should have it.
Sure.
Both are good.
Both are good.
But you need to do both.
the thing that I think of is one's preventative and one's reactive. And the issue is we've turned to modern medicine or Western medicine as our preventative. And it's like, no. All you're doing is fixing symptoms, and you're adding you're just stacking a bunch of drugs on top of each other to fix symptoms. And then you got to add more drugs to fix more symptoms that come from the drugs.
Yeah. It's just a repetitive cycle. Yeah. So
instead of telling someone, hey,
lose weight and then you won't have all these issues.
Lose weight, do a parasite cleanse, and fucking quit eating glyphosate.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, how did we? So I remember Corona, when we lived in Corona, not coronavirus. When we lived in Corona Ave is when we started doing the vertical diet.
So here's what happened. I watched, so I was big into like the gym culture, steroids, and getting big. And I ended up getting pancreatitis, which we found out was I had gallbladder sludge, which
from
was
Sean's very poor diet.
From my very, very poor diet. And they told me like, hey, you need to have a Mediterranean diet or something like that.
Yeah. So it was like low fat,
high carb.
Yeah.
High lean protein. So I started doing that, and I was like, this doesn't seem like, I don't love this.
Well, I think it was a good idea for a little bit.
It helped me out with the pancreas shit.
Yeah, I think you needed to do that to help like keep your pancreas like calm for a little bit, and then I think you would have been fine going back to like a regular diet.
Oh, sure.
Because the day you got out, I remember you got a steak.
That was a mistake.
And you're like, I can feel it.
I am in pain.
Yeah. So I think like for a week to keep letting your pancreas calm down, I think a Mediterranean diet.
It was good. That's
was
what
good.
I did.
Yeah.
Oh. So that really made me realize like, oh, food affects me. Like food's not all food's not created equal is kind of around that time when I started realizing that. So that.
You really got pancreatitis like the first month we were dating, didn't you?
Isn't that awesome?
Oh my God.
What's crazy is I had symptoms for like 2 months leading up to that.
Not surprised.
I just was like, oh, this is just this is just life. This is just how a guy feels. I had no idea.
But it was just your gall sludge affecting your pancreas that whole time. Damn.
Crazy.
Okay.
Anyways, that's what made me start looking into shit. Had that never happened, who knows?
Yeah.
If like when we would have started looking into this shit, right?
Yeah. Because, I mean, we really didn't start doing the vertical diet for like 6 months after that.
Right. So we started looking at options, started taking meal prep more seriously, and I started cutting out a lot of like
processed stuff.
Processed and like, well, we still did processed. I really cut back on the fast food.
Yeah, we started meal prepping a lot, which was the main thing.
Yeah.
So that's when we honestly started making our breakfasts and lunches.
That's what it is. Yeah, that's when it was. Because before that, like, we would meal prep, but it was like not the same. We would just make extra food and just eat it throughout the day.
Yeah.
And I would just eat shit willy-nilly. Like, someone had extra food, I would just eat it.
I basically just went to, because when we first met, it was my last semester of college. So I think I'd go to Einstein Bagels, get a sandwich in the morning, and then I'd probably eat something in Davies for lunch.
That was not your last semester of college, homie. When we met?
Yeah, it was. No, was it? No?
You went to school for a whole nother year.
Well.
Yeah. So anyways.
No, because you graduated in 2017, and so did I.
No, I graduated in 2018.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, you're right. Never mind. We were both in college at Corona. Oh, yeah, because that's when I had the hot and to fit. Okay, sorry, guys. Memories coming back.
Shocker.
Fuck you.
Hey, dude. So anyhow, we started looking into food. Well, through looking into food, we started, we got the vertical diet. And, dude, it was slow. Like, that brought us into Robin Road. And we were still on a similar diet, cleaning it up slowly. But, man, we didn't start so that was just food. We always questioned stuff financial wise. We were always really good with like finances and like alternative things, and like me taking steroids and stuff. So things like that were always big into that world. And I was big into like research on steroids and how to like properly take them to not get like fucked up.
It really wasn't until COVID that we started questioning everything.
So then, boom, COVID happens. And Sam's like, this don't make sense.
Because, I mean, I studied microbiology, and the whole time I was like, viruses don't act this way. Like, this doesn't, the whole thing never made sense.
Right.
Viruses are known to mutate pretty quickly, which is why if you get the flu vaccine, like, one, they have to guess what strain it's going to be because it takes 6 months to make a vaccine. And two, if they guess right, that strain is not the same strain by the end of the flu season.
Right.
Because it mutates every time it gets transmitted, it mutates slowly but surely. So it's a completely different strain by the end of the flu season.
Sure.
So I was like, viruses are known to mutate. And I was like, there's no way that, like, it didn't mutate for 9 months.
Right.
Almost a year.
When they came out with the vaccine, you're saying?
Well, no, because then it was like going into 2021, there's like, there's a new strain of COVID now. And I was like, that doesn't make sense.
Right. So pretty much COVID happened, and then, like, the whole mask situation and, like, all the fear-mongering. And Sam and I are like, this don't make no fucking sense, dude.
And one of the main things my microbiology professor always fucking told us was if you wanted to control a country, there's 2 things you got to do. Keep them uneducated and scared.
Yep.
And instantly I was like, this is what they're doing. Right. They're just trying to control us.
Right.
Because they were freaking everyone out and nobody knew what was going on. And everyone kept going, well, trust the science. And it's like, but you don't understand the science. So you can't trust what you don't know.
Well, and the one thing that made me go like, what the fuck, is it was always liberals. Like the anti-vax group was always like liberal women. And I remember that because I remember like reading and listening to some books back in the day about anti-vaxxers, and it was all these like hippie liberal women.
Like a whole bunch of Hollywood women too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, big time. And so I'm sitting here, well, it's like Jim Carrey and that one lady went and talked about it in like the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Jenny McCarthy.
I kept thinking of his Reese Witherspoon, and I was like, no, she's the book lady.
So I'm like, as soon as those same women moved over and were like, trust the science, I was like, whoa.
Yeah, get the vax.
You have always been against us. Now you're pro it? Like, what happened? What happened? And we saw it firsthand with people we knew.
Yeah. And it was just like, it really didn't make sense because you're just like, okay, you didn't trust these vaccines that were out for 10, 15, 20 years. But this one that has just been around for like 6 months, that one is okay. It just, none of it added up. And then that's when a lot of like other things started coming out too about like the microplastics and like plastic leaching into your food, and you should only have glass. And everyone's always known Teflon's bad with pans, but that's when we like started switching that. And like, it was just a lot of things I think clicked at once. And I think it was like,
COVID brought it on.
Yeah,
if
honestly.
it wasn't for COVID, we would not be who we are. Because COVID happened, and we're like, this doesn't make sense. So we started like
deep diving everything.
So I used to deep dive research a ton into steroid culture, like tons. I would, in college, if I cumulatively added up the time I spent studying for college and the time I spent researching steroids is more time.
Oh, 100%.
By far. Yeah. And so, like, when we get onto something that we like, we go. And so we just deep dove everything. We ended up somehow finding out about Real AF, Andy Frisella.
Yeah.
Real AF. We started listening to that. He's bringing up stuff. We're like, we were just fucking reading about this. Holy shit. So then we deep dive more. And like, as we were going, all we would do is like, we would hear shit on his podcast. And whether we'd already been researching it or like we'd look into it, we're like, holy shit. And then we started listening to other like holistic podcast, or like Andy's podcast is not holistic, but we started listening to like other podcasts questioning things. And I started like, you started getting like Gary Brecka coming out and shit. And so
and the lady, the Australian
Barbara O'Neill.
Yep.
Yeah. Barbara O'Neill found her way into our algorithm and like all this shit, and we're like, holy fuck, dude. And then you start to think about it. We're like, we've been to Asia, we've been to Europe, and
we never feel
we
like
never
shit.
feel bad. And I'm like, how can I go to Europe, drink a liter of beer, and not feel like fuzzy and lethargic, and I just feel good and energized?
Right, like we drink here and we just like wanted to go to bed. We drank there, we drank a shit ton there, and we're like, let's go party.
Bro, we'd start the night with a liter of we'd eat a meal with a liter of beer, and then we were like, we're ready to conquer the night.
Like
that would put me to bed.
Like thinking about it, like here, like we can fill ourselves up and we feel like shit. Like we're just like, oh my God, I ate so much food. I am just dying.
Right.
It's like I would eat so much food there and I'm just like, all right, we could go for a walk.
Absolutely.
It's like, it didn't make sense.
It didn't. So, we're like, fuck, dude. Then you got Robert F. Kennedy on the scene, talking about all the glyphosates and shit. And we'd already been researching that a lot. But then to hear him come out and talk about it, we're like, holy fuck. And so we really, like, it all got kicked off because of COVID, and we started questioning things, and we did not stop questioning things, and we get more and more. We just question more and more and more, which just fucks our algorithm up more and more and more. And so all we're getting fed now is just like
homesteading,
crunchy mom shit. And that's how we became the people we became. Mm-hmm. But through that whole thing, I've since done parasite cleanse, or so I've always, I shouldn't say always, starting in like 2013, 14, I started getting bad acne.
My psoriasis started getting really bad, I think, right before I met you.
Yeah.
So yeah, 2015.
And like, it's only gotten worse for both of us.
Yeah.
It's only gotten worse. Well, I got to the point, I'd gone inside the dermatologist a couple times with zero success. Mm-hmm. They were like, oh, your acne is hormonal. You just need to put, there's nothing you can do. You just need to put shampoo to dry out your skin.
Oh, well, it also told Shaun, too, that it was hormonal. And if he got off of TRT, it would go away. It didn't.
It got way worse. It got way worse. So this shit like was bad. Well, then I went to Holistic Nutrition and I did my blood panel through them, and they're like, now you need to do a parasite cleanse, and after your parasite cleanse, you need to do a mold cleanse. And they're like, but we're not going to do either of those until you like dial in your diet a little more. And at that point, my diet was fucking dialed. Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, whatever. 1 month dialing in my diet, to where they wanted it, and then we started the parasite cleanse. All my acne went away. Mm-hmm. All my psoriasis, eczema, it all went away. I fucking like was leaning out. I felt way better. Mm-hmm. And then I did a mold cleanse, and it only got better.
Well, the mold cleanse, just so you know, the mold cleanse is hard.
Oh, yeah. Let me reframe that. I was dying doing the mold cleanse. Like, it was brutal.
For, like, the first, 4 weeks?
Yeah.
And then, week 5, finally, you were like, okay.
I can handle this, yeah. But then after that, I was in a lot better. Like, my shit's way better. Mm-hmm. To the point that I used to take 150 to 60, 60 milligrams of test a week. And that yielded me on a fasted labs around 750 test results. After doing those things, I dropped my test to about a 120, 125 dose, and it yielded me 836 test result. Mm.
Oh, and real quick, side point here. One thing that made us realize that, holistic medicine is a thing is Shaun always had terrible acid reflux.
Terrible acid reflux.
And
I couldn't have a slice of fucking pizza. I couldn't have lasagna. Couldn't have spaghetti. I thought it was just red sauce. I couldn't eat a fucking... If I had a chicken sandwich, R.I.P.
Well, you just... For a while, you just had it all the time.
Drinking water fucked me up.
Yeah. And so we discovered, like, you could take apple cider vinegar to help control it.
Mm-hmm.
And sure enough, we started taking apple cider vinegar every single night, and Shaun didn't have acid reflux anymore.
Right.
And it was like, wait, what?
Mm-hmm.
And then it was just like on occasion, like if you ate too much pizza or whatever.
Right.
But then after he did the parasite and mold cleanse, he could eat pizza and not have any. And we haven't taken apple cider vinegar in a long time.
I ate a whole fucking pizza. I tested it out. Mm-hmm. I'd always get acid reflux. So I get done with this parasite cleanse and mold cleanse. And I'm like, let's see what this body can handle. I ate a whole pizza and I ate like fucking a row of brownies. Mm-hmm. Felt fine. I was like, that's not possible. Mm-hmm. It's not fucking possible.
And without apple cider vinegar.
But I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, it was cool. So yeah, I mean, it and even now, like, our diets haven't been that great, but we can tell when we get off track because
yeah.
Like,
oh, dude, the holiday season, guys. Let me not fucking act like I'm all high and mighty. I gained 8 pounds in the last 2 weeks. Okay, just because I've been eating sugar like it's actually going out of style.
And we feel like shit.
I feel like absolute trash.
Yeah.
I got a gut. I'm inflamed to all hell. I've got fucking acne again. It ain't good, dude. Don't act like... I'm not here fucking preaching to you like I'm the holy grail. Nah, dude. I fucking put on 8 pounds in 2 weeks from sugar.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so we really discovered a lot of your like issues and problems can be taken care of with diet, and then once that's in target, you can further your health and stuff by a parasite and mold cleanse. And just about everyone should do it. Back in the day, they used to just a lot of the foods that they ate naturally were natural anti-parasitics.
Sure.
But I honestly think a lot of that food has been manipulated so much that it doesn't have the same qualities anymore, which is why you have to take these parasite kits and stuff now.
Well, and there's parasites in all sorts of stuff. I mean,
yeah.
And if you eat raw sushi, you probably have parasites. If you eat shrimp, you probably have parasites. If you eat pork, you probably have parasites.
We're cutting up some liver for Mimi, and there was a parasite in the liver. A venison.
Yeah.
Venison liver.
A liver fluke.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. There's parasites everywhere, dude.
Yeah. And it's not like obviously a bad thing or like they're more common now than they used to be. No, it's just a lot of the foods back in the day were anti-parasitic, and now we don't.
Well, and people used to do parasite cleanses.
Right. But there's a lot of foods that are naturally anti-parasitic.
Sure.
But now we don't really eat those very often.
Yeah, and I mean, if you get into this and you start looking, most cultures, most other countries, they all do parasite cleanses.
Yeah, like 4 times a year.
Yeah, some of them.
I think.
A lot of them are just like at least once a year.
Yeah.
Twice a year sometimes. But yeah, up to 4 times a year doing parasite cleanses. And they're like, some of them have like parasite hospitals.
Yeah.
Like you go to the hospital because there's so many different types of parasites, and they figure out what parasite you have, and then they cleanse it properly.
Yeah.
And so like,
there's a reason why the U.S. is so obese compared to other countries.
Well, and it also, the food's huge on it too. But like a lot of stuff that I've been reading now is that cancer.
Oh yeah.
A lot of cancers is actually from parasites.
And would only make sense with cancer rates going up outrageous.
They're absurd.
For us having modern medicine,
cancer's out of hand.
Out of hand.
And heart disease, bruh. So anyways, we'll go forever on that train. But like, all these things make you start asking why. Mm-hmm. If modern medicine's so great, why do you see people dying younger and younger and younger every year? How come, like
we've literally gone to grave sites in Europe with all these headstones that are from the 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th centuries, 19th centuries, and a majority of them live longer.
A ton of those people lived in their 80s.
100%. And if they didn't, it was probably because they got killed off by war
Or plague.
or plague. And,
Accident, shit like that.
right. Or, like, generally, if you made it over the age of 2, like, you had a pretty good chance.
Oh, sure.
Obviously, like, younger immune systems are a lot harder. But, like, once you made it over that, like, most of the time you could live for a long time.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that lived a long time. And so you can't tell me, like, people used to die. Or, sure, the average age used to be 60, but how many people died in war? And how many people died, like, young? Like, before they were 2 or whatever. So it's like, yeah, sure. But you see, there's a lot of people that live to an old age.
Do you know how they prevent a lot of newborn deaths?
Huh.
They figured out washing hands.
Oh, that makes sense.
Because the doctor would go from, like, the ICU over to deliver a baby.
Oh, that's not good. Oh, that's not good.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So yeah, it wasn't modern medicine. Well, unless we count washing your hands as modern medicine.
Right.
But
So, well, and now you see that fucking C-section rate's absurd. It's 30% C-section rate when it used to be like 3%.
Can I just give you a little insight?
Go ahead.
So as you guys know, we did a home birth, which was fantastic. One of our biggest things going into it that people were questioning us on is, well, what if she bleeds out?
Right.
What if Sam bleeds out? Because a lot of our friends had that issue.
A lot of friends had the hemorrhaging.
Yeah. And we're just like, well, the hospital's 10 minutes away. So most likely I'll be fine.
Yep. But yeah.
And 2, like, we got the statistics from our midwives, and like out of like 900 births, they had like 20 people go to the hospital.
Right.
Pretty good odds.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things that I noticed was, like, leading up to it was so many people, like, because I kept getting like birth reels on Instagram or whatever, and so many people would talk about how painful it was
Delivering the
placenta. Because so many people are just like, yeah, they tell you, like, delivering a baby's bad, but then wait until you have to deliver the placenta. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, that just seems so weird. Well, I didn't have any pain. I had none. I delivered Lily, and then I just got to chill there, hang out. We just got to hold Lily, and then, like, I felt 1-2 cramps, and all of a sudden, whoop, comes right out. And it was probably a good 15 minutes after.
Yeah, at least, I bet.
And yeah, it just flops right out. And I was like, oh, that was it?
Yeah.
Well, what they do in hospitals is they force the placenta out.
Right. After they cut the cord immediately and don't let the nutrients and blood flow into the kid.
Right. So you got to think.
And that's why they need vitamin K too.
You got to think the placenta has all the nutrients that the baby needs. So when the baby gets delivered, the placenta will naturally empty out more blood and contents into the baby. So if you allow the placenta to do that naturally, it'll naturally shrink before it is ready to get delivered. Mm-hmm. So if you don't rush it, it gets smaller, and
it detaches.
Yeah, because you got to think, like, it's attached to the inside of your uterus. So if you let it just naturally kind of like peel off and come out, then you don't have as big of a wound inside. So in hospitals, they force it to come out. So they like start pushing on your belly, rubbing on your belly, and like yanking on the cord to get it to come out. Well, that's why all these women are hemorrhaging. Mm-hmm. Because they're trying to detach the placenta when it's not ready, and then it's leaving a gaping hole
to fucking bleed out
on your uterus for you to bleed out. So that was like one main thing, like after our home birth, that like made me realize, like, modern medicine is not good.
Well, it's not
doctors.
Yeah, the the process in which they do it by is not good. And then we talked to, because what blew my mind is like I was hearing of how many of our friends were hemorrhaging. And so we asked the midwives, and they're like, well, yeah, you just let it naturally happen, and you don't really have that. If she does start bleeding, we have some, things we can do to like stop the blood flow. But they're like, it's not really an issue. And I'm like, what do you mean it's not an issue? Like, every fucking person I talk to is fucking hemorrhaging. What do you mean it's not an issue? And they're just like, yeah, it doesn't happen. Like, you just let it happen naturally. Like, if it happens, we've got some, we've got stuff we can do. Otherwise, hospitals 10 minutes away, like whatever. And I'm just like, what? And then that happens. And I was like, oh, it's because you let it happen naturally. You don't force it. Crazy.
See, that was like something way more recently that like really made me realize like how good it is to not follow society.
Oh man, hugely, hugely, huge. And same thing. You don't wipe the kid off. You let the kid's skin naturally like absorb
all the nutrients.
Yeah.
It's meconium's the poop, right?
Meconium's the poop.
Yeah, I don't remember what it's called.
Anyways, it's good. Like it when you just start looking into this stuff, guys. This is my biggest fucking issue, right? This is my biggest issue. Believe it or not, individuals that love following like the narrative.
Vernix.
Did you know society survived before Western medicine?
Really? No way.
Society did not start in the 1900s.
Wow, no shit.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And then when you start to look into who invented Western medicine, and more importantly, not necessarily who invented Western medicine, more importantly, who invented petroleum-based medications. When did it happen? Early 1900s. From who? It was Rockefeller, I believe, who owned oil.
Yeah, it was either the Rothschilds or the Rockefellers.
It was Rockefellers because it was oil. They were looking for a way to make more money from oil, so they started oil-based medicines.
Yeah,
and then they moved.
Petroleum was like a byproduct of it.
Right.
So they were trying to think of something to do with this byproduct that they could make money off of it.
So they started petroleum-based medicines, which moved into petroleum-based vaccines. Anyways, it's interesting to see. And then you see what colleges the Rockefellers sponsored and where modern medicine and like Western medicine started, and they were funded by Rockefeller. And those same places they got rid of all of their holistic, all their like natural teachings that they did for medicine, because believe it or not, there was medicine before 1900. That also people don't understand. They had ways to treat things before 1900. There was medicine. It just wasn't modern medicine or Western medicine. It was just medicine. And most of the medicines were holistic medicines. Well, they got rid of holistic medicines, and everything changed to petroleum-based medicines. And that's what, like John Hopkins medical, whatever, and I think it was like Harvard medicine or something. That all was then based on the new type of medicine, because they were funded, their colleges were funded by Rockefeller. And when you start to look into that, you go, ooh. And so here's my thing. You cannot tell me. This is where I get a little like, meh. You cannot tell me that everything that they did for medicine, everything, full stop, everything that they did for medicine up until like 1915, they have better ways of doing it all. None of those methods actually work, and they're like fringe, or they're like conspiracy, or you're like you're quacky for like doing a holistic style medicine. And it's like, well, if it worked for hundreds if not thousands of years, and this new shit that's been introduced for 100 years, that's the only way, I don't know. I got a hard time believing it. And so Same thing. Look at our foods. Look what's in our foods. How did people survive before pesticides? How did plants ever make it before pesticides?
How? Is it when you look at pictures from the 1980s? How many obese people do you see?
Dude, we talked about this so much. We've talked about it on the podcast. Maybe somewhere in the ballparks of 200 times. Mm-hmm. Watch movies. Look at pictures from the 70s and 80s. Mm-hmm. Where are the fat people? Best example, Dirty Dancing, 1986-ish. The standard, because they always had like a fat, funny guy in the movies. Same thing with Space Jam. The fat, funny guy, in today's term, is not obese. Mm-mm. That is the fat guy. Mm. That's 40 fucking years ago.
Die Hard?
That's exactly my point. Die Hard, 1988. 40 years ago. So you're telling me in 40 years, obesity was rare 40 years ago. Mm-hmm. Fucking 60% of motherfuckers are obese now in the U.S.?
If not like morbidly obese.
Yeah. So hey motherfuckers, you're telling me that the shit we used to do back then was the wrong way? Where was the obese people? All those processed foods are good. So here's the fucking issue. Here's where we run into our problems. This is why Sam and I started questioning so much shit. If they're lying about the food, if the FDA is lying about the food, lying about what's in the food, and now it's come out, the glyphosates, the pesticides, the fucking hormones in the water.
The foods and dyes.
They've now said that they cloud seed. They've now came out and say they cloud seed to manipulate the weather. All these, okay, so all those things are coming out to be true, okay? Is homeschooling crazy? Is home birth crazy? Is natural medicine crazy, right? Is spending less time at work and more time with your family, or spending less time with screens and more time with your family, is that fucking crazy? I don't know.
Apparently.
It makes you start to fucking question things, right? Mm-hmm. So all I'm getting at is, Sam and I, it started by questioning food. Mm-hmm. Started by questioning food, and we got down this rabbit hole. Now we are where we are. Because all we do is, one of the things I live by is always learning. We read a ton, watch a ton of YouTube. We're always learning.
One of the things, this is why I hate the fucking saying, trust the science. Because one of the things I was told in all my science classes is question everything. You're supposed to question everything. As a society, we're supposed to question everything. And then all of a sudden COVID hit and we're not supposed to question anything?
It doesn't make sense.
Like, why? Why can't we question anything?
Right.
We should be. Literally, as people, as a society, we should always be questioning everything. It's just how we are as humans that we need to be doing this. Because you never know. Like, you never know when someone's going to be truthful, lying, manipulating. Like, you just don't know. You should always question. Always.
The issue is this. They did a study, and I'm sure most of you guys have seen it. It's the electrocution study. It goes...
Oh, this is fucked up.
It's this. They wanted to test it, and they tested it in multiple different settings, whatever. They wanted to see if somebody with perceived authority could get you to kill someone. Mm-hmm. Okay? And so they started out, they took people signed up if they were willing to do the study.
Yeah, and it was in like different places too, right? Like there was people from a university, people from a workplace, and I think random people in an alleyway or something.
Yeah, no, so they took people from all different like walks of life and got them to do this volunteer study. And what it was there was a guy or a person in a chair in an opposite room with electrodes hooked up to him. You're in a room with a perceived doctor, just someone in a lab coat, and you had to ask somebody a question. And if they answered the question wrong, you shocked them and turned up the dial one click to shock them again. If they did not answer, it was perceived as a wrong answer, and you would shock and move to the next level. So I think in the whole thing, it was like 250 volts is a deadly shock, right? Mm. And the max it went to was like 400 volts.
Yeah.
Well, so they're asking questions, they're shocking. And they reached a point where the people were no longer, they went over 250 volts and people weren't responding anymore. And they would look and like when they would shock, the other person in the other room would be like, oh. And then as you progress, they would like scream and be like, stop, please stop, quit. Like, oh my gosh.
Like, I have a heart condition.
I have a heart condition. Quit, don't shock me again. They'd look at the perceived doctor, the person in the lab coat, and they'd be like, continue. And they would shock again. And they would ask their question. If it was wrong, they'd shock again. Well, it got to the point where there wouldn't be a response because the other person in the other room had already died. And they would look at the person, they're like, proceed with the study. And they'd shock them again. The fucked up thing is it was around like 67-ish%. It was like it was right around 2/3 of people went to 400 volts and finished the study out and kept shocking them as they asked the questions. So 2/3 of the population that did this study throughout all the walks did exactly what they said and like knowingly killed these people. Knowingly killed these people for a study. 2/3 will blindly follow people to death. So we can't be mad at like people for thinking we're crazy because off the bat, 2/3 of people will always think we're crazy.
Yeah.
Right off the bat, like we aren't perceived, like we're not like perceived authorities. We're not doctors.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We're not scientists. So right off the bat, 2/3 of people are not going to follow us. They're going to trust Fauci.
Yeah.
Okay. Boom. Full stop. So we only have 1/3 of the people we can influence. Okay. The fucked up part about that study, do you remember what percentage of people did the deadly voltage of 250?
Wasn't it like 90 or 95%?
No, it was 100%.
100%.
Every single person in that study killed the person in the other. Gave a life-threatening shock to kill the people. So here's the issue. 100% of people were willing to kill someone to follow. Or like they once it reached to the point where like if
like so a third of the study stopped shocking once the person stopped making noise.
Or we're like screaming like please stop, please stop, please stop.
Yeah.
250 can kill you, it doesn't mean it won't. Ask an electrician that's been shocked by 220.
Yeah.
Like if fuck you up, it ain't gonna kill you. So like 250 can kill you. So it's a potential that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But so 1/3 gave a dose that would kill someone but stopped when it got too intense.
Yeah.
2/3 full stop kills you.
Yeah.
Just from perceived authority.
Just so you know, in this study, it was a paid actor screaming in the room.
So that it didn't kill him. Do you know why these studies happened?
Wasn't it to see if the people who were following Hitler were like actually in the wrong or not?
That's exactly right. They did this test to prove that all the Nazis and everyone that followed Hitler, they are not actually war criminals. They should not be prosecuted because anybody or 2/3 of people would have followed him anyways.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, it just really goes to like show why you should like question things.
That's it. You got to question things, and if
here, I'll go on and let's talk a little bit more too about how crunchy we are, because this is probably something I know we've talked about it, but we'll just go off it a little bit quick.
3 minutes. I gotta pee so bad.
Okay. We've even now have gone, as you guys know, like we use like glass containers. We've switched all of our like pans. We're still trying to find the right pans that we really do like.
We do not use a microwave.
We don't use our microwave anymore. And we've been really trying to lately switch our clothing, actually.
You like that? I just said I have to pee and I took a drink of water. Like
yeah,
an
you're
absolute
an
idiot.
So we've been trying to focus more on having cotton, linen, and wool. Polyester is plastic, and it is at 15 I think, frequency.
15 hertz. Yeah. So if your like baseline hertz you should be at is like 100. That's healthy is 100.
Yeah.
Wool and linen are 5,000. So it's like really a high frequency. They also cancel each other out. That's why in the Bible it says you cannot mix linen and wool. Because then it brings you to 0 hertz, which is worse than polyester.
And this is how we can like tell you it actually does work. Lily has been getting some really bad leg rashes. And it gets worse when she wears polyester.
And better when she wears cotton. Like her pajamas affect her rash.
Yep.
And then same thing with her cloth diapers. One of the cloth diapers we have is 100% cotton.
Yeah.
And one of them is like a blend.
Yeah.
The cotton one brings the rash down. The other one increases the rash.
Yep. And it's not like sizing difference really, because the cotton ones are actually super big on her.
Right, exactly.
So it's not like, because we thought it was because the diapers were too big.
Well, that's what we were, you know, we looked into it and they're like, oh, it's because the diaper sizes. You got to make sure they fit better. You got to do this. You got to do that.
It didn't help.
Didn't do anything.
Yeah. So, it's really why we are questioning just about everything that we can.
Yeah, we question everything.
One thing I would like to do in a future house is do plaster. There's like a certain type of plaster that's like mold resistant.
Is that right?
And it helps like purify the air.
Holy fuck. That's crazy.
It's a lot of European houses have it in the inside.
Oh, really? Wow. Yeah. I mean, dude, there's a ton of shit that like, you know, lead-based paint. Lead-based paint doesn't allow like EMFs and radio frequencies.
Yeah.
So like, you know, your 5Gs and stuff, your like strong signals doesn't go through lead-based paint well. So like getting lead-based paint, you know, can protect you from like all the radio waves that are out in the earth, which are, they've brought up that if you live close to like a fucking telephone tower and shit, that like people that tend to live close to like electricity poles, shit like that, it seems that there may be a correlation of increased cancer rates and increased tumors.
We've seen like studies of this family had golden retrievers and they kept getting cancer. Like I think they had like 3 in a row that got cancer, and they realized it was because the dog bed was right next to their Wi-Fi router.
Yes. Yep.
So most of the time at night now, Shaun and I actually turn our Wi-Fi off. Or if we're not home, we turn it off.
Yep.
If Mimi's home. If Mimi's not home, then
we'll fucking...
Yeah. So we've even done a lot of that stuff too.
Yeah. There's a ton of shit, dude. When you start questioning it, you just keep going down and down and down and down and down the rabbit hole.
And here's the thing.
Blue lights, or LED lights.
Yeah, we've been trying to find some incandescent bulbs to switch all of our lights to.
Google it, dude. It'll tell you right on Google that the only reason LEDs exist is because of energy efficiency. They say that incandescent lights are actually better for you and brighter.
Yep.
But LEDs last longer and are better energy efficient. That's why they have LEDs. But they will tell you straight up that like, nope, fucking incandescent. Google it.
Yeah.
Just Google it.
But yeah, I honestly, like, we don't give a shit what people think or say about it. Like, what we do is weird to them because, to be honest, I would rather live to be 90, 95 with no cancer and I'm able to still live in
kids.
Yeah, and healthy kids and still be able to live in my own home. And if you want to consume all this toxic shit, so be it. But absolutely. I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, no, that's it. We live our life our way. You can live your life your way. We just encourage that we encourage that you look into these things, because once you start questioning it, you don't stop. And there's ignorance is a bliss. I agree. But is ignorance blissful if you die 20 years younger, 30 years younger, and you don't live as good of a life? I don't think so.
Is ignorance bliss if your child is 5 years old and gets cancer?
bro, cancer, autism, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways, gang, that's what we got for you today. Hope you enjoyed it. I need to go do some walk. So have a good Monday. Be productive, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Peace.